Hi grade 12 students, so in today's video we are going to do the whole question paper of paper 2. But before we start guys, this is what I want to emphasize because I know that I have a student who are in grade 12 and there are those who are doing a rewrite. Okay, those who are going to do a rewrite is more like a June examination is going to be their final paper. So this is what I want to emphasize and you have to listen very carefully so that you won't do a mistake. Okay, guys, now let's start with both of you. This is the chapter that both of you are going to write about when you write your paper 2. Paper 2, it will be 150 marks for both of you. 150 marks, and the first chapter that all of you are going to do is inventory, which we are going to cover in this video. And the number 2, it will be cost accounting, which is also known as a production cost statement. That's where you're going to calculate break-even point. Okay, and the number 3, it will be reconciliation. Okay, under reconciliation, you guys, you know that you have a bank reconciliation, creditors reconciliation, and debtors reconciliation. Okay, so you have to make sure that you cover both of them. Then you have a fixed asset. A fixed asset is the last one. So these 4 chapters, those who are in grade 12 and for those who are in who are doing rewrite, you're going to write about these 4 chapters. But those who are doing a rewrite, you are also going to have additional chapter, which is budgeting, which is also known as cash budget. And the other one, you're going to write about VAT. So these chapters, for those who are rewriting, you're going to find them on your paper 2. But those who are in grade 12 full time, this is for term 3. We're gonna do this when we go to term 3. So what I did in this video guys, I cover all the topics, but this last one I did them last, which means that those who are in grade 12 watch only this part which was covered and up to almost 1 hour of this video, which means that after 1 hour, for those who are in grade 12, you can leave this part for those who are going to do what? A rewrite. So this is what I wanted to emphasize before we start with our lesson. And also guys, thank you so much for choosing Accounting Solution SA videos. And please guys, let's subscribe. We want to celebrate 100,000 subscribers. And I know that if you guys, you can push it, even though you are writing this as a final paper guys, just subscribe. It's free of charge. At least the channel will be growing and others will come and still learn in this channel. Okay, and also those who want to join our extra class guys, only 100 rand per month. We have accounting, mathematics, maths literacy, business and economics. You can come and join any of those subjects, 100 rand each. So make sure that you come in time and learn with other students. Even though guys, those who are going to rewrite, if you didn't perform well during June or May exam, you can register again and try during November and come and join classes so that at least it can be better in other way. Okay, so let's keep watching. We are going to do all this video. I will just do part by part and add them because it's gonna be almost 1 hour 30 minutes. So let's keep watching, let's learn something, and all the best guys for the paper that you are going to write. So the main purpose is for you to get a distinction. Okay, so before we prepare our bank reconciliation statement and cash receipts and payment, we have some questions that we have to go through quickly. Bank reconciliation, Mamba Traders appointed a new bookkeeper who is struggling to prepare bank reconciliation statement on or for July 2022. Okay, concept number 1.1, correct. Choose the correct word. Okay, we are given all the correct words. 1.1.1 is the balance on the bank statement is an unfavorable. A balance on the bank statement is unfavorable balance on the bank statement. It's a debit balance, guys. It's a debit side. Debit side. Okay. 1.1.2. Interest credited on the bank statement is recorded in cash receipts journal. Interest income is a cash receipt journal. Okay. Then they said a service fee, ATM deposit fee are added and recorded as a bank charge. They are not recorded separate because of the materiality concept. Materiality concept. Okay. Number 1.4 is used to buy goods or service from supplier, and the amount used is paid back to the bank at the later date. It's a credit card. Credit card. Okay. And lastly, an unfavorable balance to the bank is a liability to the business. It's a liability to the business. Okay. So this is what you can use to practice. However, guys, the main purpose of this video is to prepare this. Okay, we have to go there and do them into detail quickly. Calculate the correct totals for cash receipt journal and cash payment journal, 10 marks. Prepare the bank reconciliation statement as 30 June 2022. All right, now we have to go to our information. Information number A, extract from the bank reconciliation statement on 31 May 2022. They give us a reconciliation of last month, which we can prepare to check if something has been recorded or not. Okay, and they say the balance on the bank statement, the balance on the bank statement on 30 June 2022 was 11,892, which is favorable. Remember, guys, when we prepare cash receipt and cash payment, this side is favorable, this side is unfavorable. And when it come here, it do the opposite. This side is unfavorable and this side is favorable, which means that the balance that we have for bank balance as per bank statement is amount of 11,892. Why credit? Because it's favorable, and favorable on the statement is on the credit side, just like that. 1 marks for that. Okay. Cash journals had the following total on 30 June 2022 before reconciliation was compiled. We have a balance here. Cash receipts, it was 2420. We were not required to do a description or detail. 29,070. Very simple. This one is copy and paste, guys. You must get this. Okay. And after that, let's go to number D. The following items appear on the bank reconciliation statement. They appear here, but they are not here. Now let's check. Bills number 1. They said EFT number 201 and 220. If you check 201 and 220, they already recorded on the last year reconciliation statement, which means that these EFT were for the last month. They were not for this month. That's why it did not appear here, and it's very correct. Nothing to rectify. This trick, it will always be there. The EFT one and the outstanding deposit one. If EFT and outstanding for is not appearing on this book, but they are on the previous month's reconciliation, don't record it. It's a trap. Okay, which means that we're not going to record a deposit of 80.8. Let's check. Is it there? Yes, it is there on our last month's statement. We don't have to touch it unless we are given another information. Okay, now let's check number 3. A direct deposit of 3,500 was made by a tenant for her July 2022 rent. Okay, now let's check what actually happened here. A tenant has deposited, but the amount was not appearing. This is cash receipt 3.5. If you check 3.5 on the last year statement, it was not there. Okay, bank charges of 260 is cash payment. We have to record it on the cash payment side. A debit card payment of 250 to purchase windscreen was not appearing. The cash is a cash payment. We have to record it here. Very simple. Okay. Then the other one, we have interest on the credit balance, guys. Interest on the credit balance of the statement is a favorable, which means that it's a receipt when it comes this side. 52 rand is a receipt because a credit balance of the statement is a favorable, which must go here. Unfavorable, go here. They swap. Okay. Number E, the following item appear in the cash journal but not in the bank statement. EFT, outstanding EFT, number 250 for stationery board, and EFT 251 for petrol of the owner. Okay, it's EFT 250 and 251. Okay, and the other one, it was 2.3, and the other one, it was 1.7. It's outstanding EFT because they are there, but they are not here. That's what the instructions say. The following item appear in the cash journal, but not in the bank statement. It's very simple. Number F. This one, they are not going to tell us whether it's not appearing here or here. We have to understand who did mistake. The following error were noticed when preparing the bank reconciliation statement for July. Okay. Number one, EFT number 178 was incorrectly recorded in the cash payment journal for May 2022, and the correct amount of 2,300 appear in the bank statement for June 2022. Now let's check here. If you check number 178 on the previous statement, you will find that the amount that they recorded is 5,900. But here they say that the correct amount, it appears on the bank statement as 2.3, which means that the person who did mistake is cash payment journal, is our books. They said EFT number 178 was incorrectly recorded here. Okay, which means that 5.9 was wrong. Remember, it's for last month. It's for last month. The one that we check 5.9. Now we have to correct. Okay, in our book we recorded more, which is 5.9, instead of recording less, which is 2.3. Now we have to say 5.9 minus 2.3, and we reverse because we record it here. We record over amount here. When we reverse, it must come this side a different. Okay, a different will give us amount. If you say 5.9, let me calculate. 5.9 minus 2.3 is give us 3.6. 3.6. Okay. Then again, they said EFT number 225 was incorrectly recorded in the cash payment journal for May. Okay, so if you have been watching so far, guys, please, let's make sure that we subscribe before we leave, so that this channel can reach 100,000 subscribers by the year end of 2025. It's very possible, guys. If every one of you who are being assisted by this channel is subscribing, we're gonna make it. So please, let's try and make sure that we subscribe, so that we're gonna celebrate together. When you pass, and on my side, when I'm celebrating 100,000 subscribers, guys, it's very nice. Imagine you are celebrating that you made it. And also on my side, I'm very happy that I reached my target. That's a good thing, guys. Imagine you can't just celebrate alone that I have been assisting you, but you even struggle to subscribe, which is very free. Please, guys, let's make sure that we subscribe. Okay, I'm gonna record another part if more subscribers um, are being recorded. Okay, guys, now let's take this check again. EFT number 225 was incorrectly recorded in the cash payment journal for May 2022, and the correct amount, it was 10,420. Here mistakes are made here in our books. So let's take check number 225. 2225, it was 5,500. We recorded 5,500 instead of 10. We were supposed to record more, which means that we recorded less here. To edit more, we must also record it here also. We can't reverse. We're not reversing anything in this case because we record less. But if you record more, we reverse. Okay. So 10,450 minus 5,500, it will give you 4,950. Okay. So all in all, this will give you, number one, it will give you amount of 27,572, and here it will give you 34,530. Okay, now we must get a balance. We must get a balance, which is balance as per bank account, and as well as outstanding deposit. Okay, number E, outstanding deposit of 750 from customer. Outstanding deposit is recorded this side, 750. Guys, payment, because it's unfavorable, negative, all payment EFT come this side. Deposit, which is a receipt, come this side. They swap what? Aside. You must know that by your heart. Very simple. Okay, now we're left with this one. So because we already have all this amount, we have to get it as a balancing figure. Okay, now let's calculate which side is higher. The side which is higher is this one, is 12,642, and it's gonna be the same 12,642, and here it will be 8,642. We get it as a balancing figure. But in other question papers, you are going to calculate it from this balance, this one minus this one. But you must be given what? Opening balance at the beginning as per bank account. Okay, so that's what this bank reconciliation need. Question 4 on this question paper. The information related to Matuli Traders Ltd, the financial year end 28 February 2023. So guys, when you do fix the assets, you must write down your reporting period because it's going to be very important when you calculate depreciation. Let's write it down. Because our year is ending 28 February 2023, which means that it started last year, 1 March 2022. Because after all, it must be 12 months, you know? Okay, in other words, when they say it's ended here, you count from there going back, it must be 12 months. Okay, 4.1 required. Calculate depreciation for equipment and vehicles for the year end 28 February 2023. And okay, after that, we're going to do another question. Then we're given information of vehicle and equipment, and they give us additional information. So number one, they say we have to calculate equipment and vehicle depreciation. Let's start by equipment. Equipment, every time, guys, when you calculate the depreciation, release these three categories: a new, a sold, and old. Because you don't calculate them no matter how you use a strategy, guys. You don't calculate them at the same time. You must do them separately. Okay, now let's start by a new one. Let's focus on the new one only. Do we have a new equipment? Yes. New equipment under additional information number B with a cost price of 120 was bought on 1 May 2022. Okay. And they say that under the last one, equipment it is depreciated by 20% per annum on the cost price. Cost price method, we just use a cost price only to calculate depreciation. A new one is 120,000 multiplied by 20%. We have to count a month. Why? On the new and sold, you count months. Old, you don't count. Okay. From 1 May, guys, up to year end, it's going to be May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. 10 months. But, guys, if they give you 30 May, you don't count May because May is already finished. Okay? 10 out of 12. Then it will give you 20,000. We are not done. And this is only how many marks? 2 marks. A sold one. Let's check if we have a sold equipment. Information number 2 is related to vehicle. Number 3 is related to vehicle, which means that we don't have. Which means that we have only the old one. If you check equipment, they give us balance at the end under information number A. At the beginning, they didn't give us. At the end, remember it has also included a new one. Okay, because it's the end, né? 600,000. We have to first subtract the one that was bought because we already calculate it. We can't calculate it again, so we must remove it. 120,000. So that we're gonna left with how much? 480,000. Okay, that's the cost price that we left with. Now, remember, guys, our accumulated is 440. You always have to, when you calculate depreciation, guys, you must check accumulated. If the accumulated is becoming closer to the cost price, just know that you are going to use 1 rand rule. Why? Because the depreciation when you calculate is going to exceed the accumulated. Okay. Now, the accumulated, guys, must not exceed the cost price because you can have a negative value. 480, guys. If you say 480,000 multiplied by 20%, how much are you going to get? Remember, it's old one, you don't count months. If you do this, guys, you are going to get, let me verify, multiplied by 20%. You're going to get 96, guys. Imagine when you add 96,000 from accumulated of 440, this is going to be 500 something, which means that depreciation is now over what? The cost price. What do you do in that case? You don't count this 96,000. It's already over depreciated. What you need to do, very simple. You just have to take this one and you compare it with accumulated 440. Whatever that you are going to get, you must subtract 1 rand. Then that will be your depreciation. If you subtract these two, I think you're gonna get 20,000 minus 1 rand rule. It's going to give you 19,999. In other words, our depreciation now, when we add it with accumulated, it's gonna give us cost minus accumulated, then it gives us 1 rand. We rather sell it by 1 rand. They say that you can't sell something by negative amount. You rather sell it by 1 rand. Guys, imagine, just because this phone I bought it in 2011, now it's negative balance. It doesn't mean that I can give you for free and I give you money. When I said it's negative, which means that I'm giving you phone and money. At least you rather give me 1 rand. That's what this rule is trying to say. Okay, now we are done with equipment. we apply 1 rand rule, and I believe that you have learned something in this 1 rand rule. Okay, now let's calculate vehicles. Vehicle, we have to read information number 2. On 31 July, the vehicle was sold. Remember, I said that when you calculate depreciation, do this and old, 3 category. Just write them, no matter how, whether they are there or not. If they are not there, you just write dash like what I did. 1 July, the vehicle was sold by 81,000 cash, and original cost price was 164, and accumulated depreciation of this vehicle on 1 March 2022 was 56,000. Remember, here we are calculating what? Depreciation. Okay, but I will also open disposal assets for you guys because I know you love it and you want to learn it. Okay, but it was not required, but hey, you guys, you always want to learn, but we are here for that, so we will help you. Assets disposal. Okay, you know, this side we put a cost price, and the cost price of this sold one was 164,250. This side we put accumulated. That's where we are going to also calculate depreciation that we need here. Under accumulated depreciation, we have to add the one that we had, 56,250, plus the one that we are going to calculate. And it was sold by how much? By cash. Cash is a bank, and we have to write amount of 81,000. Okay. After that, then that's where we can decide whether it's a profit or it's a loss or whatever. Okay. All right. Now let's proceed. We have to calculate another depreciation, guys, here that we have to add, and it's gonna be simple. Remember, vehicle use a carrying value, or we're not using the cost price, we're using the carrying value method, which is the same as diminishing balance method. Cost minus accumulated. So now let's calculate the sold one. Cost, it was how much? 164,250 minus accumulated of 56,250. You multiply by 20%, and then you count months. It was sold when? It was sold 31 July, which means that you count from March up to July. March, April, May, June, July. 5 months. 5 over 12. Okay, and you're gonna get 9,000. This 9,000 is the one that you have to add here, plus 9,000. Because it was not calculated, I have to calculate 56,250 plus 9,000. Then it's 65,000. Remember, this one was not required, guys, but because we are doing practice, you have to know it. Why not? Plus 81,000 is 146, which means that the higher one is this one, 164,250, 164,250, and you subtract this side, you subtract everything here. 164 minus 81 minus 65. We have a loss of 18,000. Loss on sales of assets. If it was this side, it was going to be profit. Okay, perfect. I hope you already subscribed, guys. Let's push, man. Always video, guys. Please subscribe. When I check the result, I found that only 15% of people who are watching subscribe. Then the rest, they were just watching. Some of you just comment, say, how did you calculate this? When there is another setting where I check if the person who is commenting has subscribed or not. When I check, I find that the person is not even subscribed. I don't respond. Subscribe is free, guys. You can't be just using me. Please, let's subscribe. Yeah. Aye. Okay. Um. Now, let's take if we have a new vehicle. A new vehicle was bought on 1 September 2022 by 315. This one is very simple. Whether it is diminishing or it's a cost price, you don't have to subtract anything because it's new. It does not have depreciation. Okay, and we're just gonna say multiply by 20%, and we count months: September, October, November, December, January, February. 6 over 12, and it's gonna give us how much? It's gonna give us how much? 31,500. Okay, and after that, that's where we have to now calculate what? Our old one. Our old one, we have to go back to the balances. Our old one, remember there is a 444,150, a cost price, but you must first remove the one that was sold because this one is old, but we have already calculated depreciation for it separately, so we have to remove it. 164, 250. Okay, this is the cost which we have to subtract. Accumulated, at the beginning it was 162,000, but we must also remove accumulated of the sold one because we already calculated and it was already recorded because this is the opening balance. Okay, you get answer here and you get answer here, you subtract them together, and then after that, that's where you can say multiply by 20%. Then it will give you. Don't punch this at the same time in your calculator, guys. Don't be that lazy, because some calculators, guys, this time around, the some company are just introducing a product that they don't even know about. How can you use a calculator of LG? Hi, guys. You have to make sure that you calculate it step by step. Don't trust any calculator that you are using. It's either calculator is Casio or Sharp. Those are the things, guys. You will scam yourself one day. Don't try to buy cheap calculator, guys. It's gonna cost you a lot. If you do this calculation, you're going to get 34,808. Simple stuff. That's how we calculated all this depreciation. All right. The next question, guys, said provide one reason why company might decide to dispose a fixed asset. Why company can sell the asset? Obvious, guys. If the asset is old and it's no longer useful, you just have to sell it. And the other one, yeah, if you're having a vehicle that is consuming a lot of petrol, guys, you have to sell it because it's gonna cost you at the same time. Okay, or maybe there is a better availability of technology, guys. This time around you are using a cell phone which is not touch screen. Guys, I don't think is there anyone, tell me on the comment, guys, is there anyone who is using a cell phone which is not a touch screen? We are not talking about iPhone. Any cell phone that is a touch screen is a modern phone that we are using now. Those one of button, even if you go to Facebook Market, guys, I don't think you can get it there. Those cell phones, they're no longer there. They are very outdated. That's why the company decided to sell. But they will sell to who these things? The old one. There are those people that they don't care about the updated things. They will buy. You see, it's gonna be cheap because they will be selling by 1 rand. You see. So yeah. Now let's move to the next question. I have to rub here first. But I don't think I'm going to write anything on this question that is coming. Yeah, guys, uh, the things of subscribing, it's not, it was not supposed to be language of every day, but you guys, you are disappointing me. You don't subscribe. Why? Okay, the next question. Managing fixed asset. Shompo delivery vehicle own 3 delivery vehicle, and Philip, the owner, is concerned about the control of vehicle, and he obtained some information from supervisor and requested your assistance. Okay. Then he said, identify one problem. They say problem. Problem is a problem. Don't identify good things. They say problem. Okay. And quote the figures and provide 1 point of advice for each problem that you have identified. Okay. A goods are delivered to customer free of charge within 30 kilometers radius. Delivery are not done over the weekend. Information number B. We have vehicle 1, 2, 3. We have to identify problems from these vehicles. Okay. Let me draw the table that it was given on the answer book. Okay. Like this. Okay. And we have vehicle 1, vehicle 2, vehicle 3. Okay, this side we have to write problems, and this side we must give advice. Okay, if you check under vehicle number 1, the problem that we can identify, guys, if you check the salary of the driver, he's getting paid 11,000, but how many kilometers that he has traveled? Only 360. Yeah. Yes, he's been paid the same as the vehicle number 3, but vehicle number 3 is traveling a lot, 1,000 something, but this one travels against. The driver is overpaid here. Overpay driver. And how can we solve this problem of overpaying a driver? We must give him more trip. We have to give this driver more trips because you can't work 360. It's more like 360 divided by 30. Does it not? I think it's not even exceeding. I don't know. Let me calculate. 360 divided by 30. 360 divided by 30. Only 12 trip. Oh yeah, 12 trip, guys. Imagine, you will find that those 12 people, they were ordering 29 rand, 29 rand pizza, and he's getting paid 11,000. Hi, for 29 rand pizza. Business will make a loss, so he must drive more trip. This is not nice. Vehicle 2, highest paid driver. Vehicle 2 is the highest paid driver. And he did how many trips? 780, but even 780 is still not enough compared to number 3. Okay. This is the highest paid driver, and like we were supposed to see at least some lot of movement from him. This is not only the problem. If you compare vehicle 1 and 2, you will just realize that even maintenance is starting to be more expensive because they maintain by 115 service plan, and the other one, vehicle 1, it was only 70 rand. Fuel consumption 1,400, while the first one it was 420. So it's a problem. How do we solve this problem? We have to find maybe alternative maintenance plan to sort this out. Okay, I think I don't have to even write this. And vehicle number 3, guys, the problem is that this vehicle is old, very old. So guys, 2009 vehicle in 2023, it's very old. We have to sell this. You can check, even the current value is 1 rand, to show that they are just avoiding to sell it by negative amount. So how to solve the problem like this? Sell it, buy a new one. Simple stuff. Let's read number 1. They said perfect fit manufacturer. The business produce a formal sheet or sheet the financial year ended 28 February 2021 and the required 2.1.1. Prepare production cost statement. This is the format that you need to know. Okay, then 2.1.2 we have to calculate gross profit and markup. Okay, let's go straight to production cost statement. Okay, so when you calculate production cost statement, guys, know the format like you did when you prepare income statement and balance sheet. You start with direct material plus direct labor, which is going to give you a prime cost, and you add factory overhead, which we also call it indirect cost. Indirect cost. Okay, then it's gonna give you, when you add this one, it's gonna give you total manufacturing, and you take opening balance under work in progress, you subtract balance at the end, then it's gonna give you total cost of production. It's very simple. Only allocate items that fall under production. All items that fall under production or manufacturing, just record them here. Administrative and selling and distribution don't include any expense under this account. Okay, let's check. They give us stock on hand. Then balance at the beginning, work in progress, we have it is 230. 230. It's fine. You can start anywhere, guys, as long as if you have available balance, you can just record. Balance at the end, we're going to put it here, but we don't have it. Okay, then let's proceed. Finished goods, we're gonna do it when we calculate cost of sales. Okay, number B, the bookkeeper calculated the cost below. Some errors were made. Direct material, before any error has been made, it was 1,575,000. We're gonna check the transaction. Then direct labor, they didn't give us anything. We're gonna go to transaction. Okay, let's start by this part first of prime cost. If we quickly go to number D, they said the prime cost is 2,550,000. 2,550,000. It was given a prime cost in this question paper. Okay, then now let's check our transaction number 1 under number C. Payment to quick delivery of 75,000 for carriage on raw material. You know that delivery, or we can also call it a transport or carriage on purchase, it must also included under direct material. Okay, they said it was incorrectly allocated to selling and distribution. It was supposed to be here, and they recorded under selling and distribution by mistake, which means that if we were also required to prepare selling and distribution, we were going to subtract it that side and edit this side plus 75,000 because it's belong here. Okay, but because in this case we don't have selling and distribution question, we are not going to subtract it anyway. We're just going to edit here, and it's going to give us 1,650,000. Obviously, they are not going to give us direct labor because they give us prime cost, which means that we just have to take this one minus this one, and it's going to give us 900,000. 900,000. Simple. Now let's go to our factory overhead. Okay, a factory overhead amount that we've been given initially is amount of 518,800. Then after that, we need to check transaction number 2 under number C, error and omission. The entire insurance amount of 25,000 was transferred to administrative costs, and we were supposed to do 2/3 of this expense will be allocated to factory. 2/3 of 25,000 is the one that we're supposed to be allocated to factory overheads. What do we do now? Because it was already recorded, which means that it was already transferred to administrative. We were going to subtract that side because that side of admin we don't have required here. We're just going to allocate our 2/3 by saying, let me calculate it here. I'm going to wrap. We're going to say 25,200 by 2/3. Then it's going to give you amount of plus 16,000 is belong here. We have to edit the 16,800. This is how you calculate it. Very simple. Let's wrap so that we can have a space for other allocation. Okay, we are not done with factory overheads. Bullet number 3. Factory overheads cost include amount of 117,600 for water and electricity. The bookkeeper had incorrectly allocated this expense to factory, administrative and selling distribution at a ratio of 6:3:1, and the correct ratio is 5:4:1. What do we do now? Very simple. Firstly, this 117, you need to know that it's not a total, but it's 6 that has been allocated to factory overhead, and we were supposed to allocate 5. So what do we do in this case? Is either you can say 117,600 multiplied by, we are looking for 5 out of 6. Okay, let me calculate this and confirm. 117,600 multiplied by 5/6. Okay, 98,000 is the one that was supposed to be allocated. They were supposed to allocate the lesser amount, and they recorded 117. Do we have to record 98,000? No, because 117 was already recorded, which means that they record a high amount. We need to just subtract the different. Okay, if you subtract 117 by 98, we have to get amount of 19,600. The reason why we are subtracting is because they recorded higher amount instead of lower amount. If they recorded lower amount instead of higher, we're going to add so that it's going to be equal to the amount that was supposed to be recorded. Very simple. Okay, so this was 16 marks for free. Okay, now we can close because we don't have any other transaction. Then you're gonna get amount of 516,000, just like that. Okay, so before we proceed, I hope you already enjoy. Please guys, make sure that you subscribe so that this video will reach more learners that want to learn grade 12. Remember, grade 12 guys is very important to everyone, to future of everyone, because if you don't have a good results for grade 12, a lot of doors are going to be closed. So in order for this video to reach more people, is because you guys, you keep liking, you keep subscribing. The more you like, you are helping someone to be recommended this video, because YouTube is going to see that this video is very useful. So please, to like is very important to someone's life. Let's do so and subscribe. Okay, moving to the next one. Now we are going to total manufacturing. We just add these two, and you're gonna get amount of 3 million and let me check, 3,066,000, just like that. Okay, now we left with this balance and this balance. We have to get one so that we can get the other one as a balancing figure. Okay, because they didn't give us work in progress at the end, we can find this one. Number E, 7,600 shirts were produced by unit cost of 420. We're just gonna multiply these two, and 7,600 multiplied by 420, which is going to give us 3,192,000. Now it's going to be simple. We just have to get total after this one, then we're gonna get our opening balance. You add these two, you're gonna get 3,296,000, and after that we get the difference between these two. Then closing stock is always minus, guys. 104,000, just like that. This is how you prepare production cost statement, but you have to make sure that you watch my other videos of manufacturing, so that you will learn other transaction, because transaction are different if you check other question paper as well. But let's go to the next one, 2.1.2, gross profit. Gross profit, we have to use the simple formula, which is sales minus cost of sales. Okay, let's start by sales because it's going to be simple for us. Sales, we have it under number E, is 4,860,000 minus cost of sales of how much? How are we going to calculate cost of sales? It's very simple. You take opening of finished goods plus total cost of production, and you subtract closing of finished goods. Okay, let's do it. Opening of finished goods is 342,000 plus 3,192,000, and we subtract closing. Closing, guys, they give us 400 shirt. You just said 400 shirt multiplied by 420. 420, we got it under number E because they said it's 420 each. We just multiply by number of shirt of 400, then we're gonna get an amount of 168. If you do this, you're going to get a cost of sales of 3,366,000. Sales minus cost of sales is gonna give you a gross profit of 1,494,000. Very simple. The last one, markup achieved. Okay, those who want to join our extra class, guys, it's still 60 Rand per month to everyone. We make it cheap so that everyone can be able to afford it. So just text us on WhatsApp, and when you text us on WhatsApp, guys, please, I have a lot of message. I won't be able to respond a lot of message. If you want to know how our class work, I did a video. Just go to playlist and check how our class work and everything, and even the documents that I'm going to share to you on WhatsApp. You just have to read everything is there, okay? Because if you keep asking a lot of message, you will find that I'm not responding because I have a lot of text. So if you just make a payment and you send me a proof, I'm just gonna simply add you to WhatsApp group and the Telegram group that we do a live video every Sunday. Okay, a markup achieved, guys, you have to use the formula which is called a gross profit divided by cost of sales. Gross profit, we have it, we calculate it, is this one, is 149,400, and then you divide by the cost of sales. Cost of sales, we calculate it here, is 3,366,000. Then you multiply by 100, then it's gonna give you 44.4%. That's how this question paper was simple. They said the bread traders sell electric fans, and the business is owned by Deb Fisher, and the information related to financial year end 30 April 2022, and the periodic inventory system is used by this business. Okay, and they also apply first in first out method. Okay, required number 1.1.1, calculate the following for the financial year end 30 April 2022. Number 1, value of closing stock. Okay, then we have 1.1.1, we have to calculate value of closing stock. Okay, remember this business apply a method of first in first out. Okay, now let's look at our information. The first item that we need to pick when we are calculating FIFO, guys, is the closing unit. A closing unit, if you check, we have 470 units at the end of on 30 April 2022, the date that we are calculating. Okay, now let's go and proceed with our information. Remember, when we calculate FIFO method, we assume that first inventory that come is the first one that we sold, which means that our closing balance is from the last bench that we purchased. Okay, the last bench that we purchased, it was February 2022, and it was 300 units. Okay, then we have to read number C and D so that we understand if this 300 inventory has some impact. It can be either donation or something, or return. Okay, number C, they said 6 electronic fans from December 2021 bench with the total cost of 1,650 were used as a price in advertising campaign. This 6 is from December, which means that when we go to December, 6 must taken out. 10 damaged fan from February 2022 and purchase were returned to supplier. A refund of total cost was received. Okay, the one that we're starting with on February, the last bench, 300, it was affected by a return of 10 units, which means that instead of taking 300, we're going to take only 290. Okay, from December, we're going to take 290. Remember, guys, in total, we have to take 470. We took 290 because 10 were returned, which means that we no longer have it on our hands. Okay, and the unit price, it was 285. Okay, we're gonna calculate here. And then after that, we have to check. If we take 470 minus 290, it must give us the balance that we are going to take on December, on the previous one. Okay, it's December, on December. This one is not December, guys, it's February. Okay, which means that we are going to take the different 290 minus 470, which is going to give us 180. 180 is obviously from December, because on December we left with 500 and only 6 were used for campaign, which means that even if we subtract it, we're still going to take 180. Okay, then we multiply by amount of 275. Okay, and let's calculate this. This one is going to give us 82,650 and this one 49,500, and in total it's going to give us 132,150. Then if you do this calculation, guys, you're going to get 5 marks for free. Okay, that's how we work out first in first out method. Okay, then the next one, they said that we need to calculate cost of sales. Cost of sales. Okay, cost of sales, we use the formula opening plus purchase minus return minus anything that is outside, then we minus closing. Okay, only sales that we do not include it under cost of sales formula. Okay, our opening, we have we use rent, guys, here. We don't use unit. 79,200. Okay, and total purchase, it was 376,500. Then we subtract. Number 1, we're going to subtract additional information. Number C, 6 electronic fans were used for campaign. We have to deduct it, which means that we're gonna say 6 multiplied by amount of December is 275. 6 multiplied by 275 is going to give you amount of 1650. We said 6 multiplied by 275 in order for us to get this one. Okay, then the next one, we have to subtract a return, a damage, minus a damage. We said 10. Return was for February, is going to be 10 multiplied by 285. Is 10 multiplied by 285, which is going to give us 2,850. After that, the last one, we minus our closing stock, minus 132,500, which is going to give us a cost of sales of 319.50, just like that. And if you do this calculation, guys, you're going to get 6 marks, just like that. Very simple. So I hope you are enjoying and you are learning something, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. You can see that now we are on a road to 10,000, but if you watch this video after it's reached 10,000, please subscribe, because we want more and more learners to discover this channel so that they can also learn the way you are learning. Okay, now let's proceed to the next one. 1.1.2 Deb is concerned about the sales and probability. Okay, the owner is concerned about the sales and the probability, profitability. I mean, okay. Bullet number 1, they said calculate the average stock holding. I want to explain something. If you watch my previous inventory questions, they didn't say that we have to calculate average inventory. They said we have to use closing balance. If they said use closing balance, use closing. Average, add opening and closing and divide by 2. Simple. Okay. This formula, it says average inventory divided by cost of sales. Cost of sales, we have it, is 319,050. Okay. Average, which means that we have to add opening, which is 79,200, and the closing, we have to add them and we divide by 2. Okay, I think closing is this one, 132 and 150. Okay, then after that we need to multiply by 365 so that we can get days. Okay, if you do this, it's gonna give you amount or days or of 121 days. It's gonna give you 121 days. Okay. Then the next bullet, they said, based on your findings, comment on whether she should be concerned or not. She should be concerned or not about holding of 121 days. In other words, guys, this formula is saying that this business is taking 121 days in order for them to sell inventory. Do you think it's good? No, it's not good in a business. If you're running a business, inventory must move like almost every day. Okay, we can't hold a stock for a very long time because we want money as a business. So obvious, this is not good. Okay, you can explain whatever that you feel like is gonna be good enough. Okay, let me just read possible answers. Number 1, you can say the sales of stock is very low. Sales of stock is low. Okay, another one, you can say a closing stock. If you check the closing stock, guys, of 132, is almost like a double of opening stock, which means that the situation is getting worse. Okay, so another one, damage of stock becoming obsolete or outdated. Okay, so the damage is becoming outdated or is getting expiring. Okay, so obviously, especially if you are selling food, if you hold food for this long, they are going to expire, guys. So this is not good at all. Okay, they didn't ask us to give him or her advice, so no need to give advice. This is enough for marks allocated, for 2 marks. Okay, Deb want to change to weighted average method to value electric fan as she feel that this will improve profitability. Comment on this proposal and 2 point. She want to change, guys, and her reason, if you check her reason, is because she want to improve profitability. You don't change a method because you want profit to look good. We call it unethical. This is unethical. Okay, it's more like she want to manipulate the value of a profit, which is not allowed at all. Okay, and if you check, you can see that the balance or the unit cost of this inventory, it was 250, it was costing 260 in September, 275 and 285. It's changing like almost every time, which means that we need to use the actual price so that we can get the real value of closing stock. But because if we use average, we're just going to get assumption in this case. Average, we can only use it from smaller item like sweets. You can't calculate 10,000 sweets, guys, one by one. It's too much. But because this electric fan, we can count them simply, which means that we need to use FIFO method. Okay, so I hope you learned something, guys. Let's check this question paper. It's DBE 2018 break time manufacturers. Okay, break time manufacturers is a manufacturing business that produce lunch box for school children. Okay, it was question 2.3.1. Okay, let's start with 2.3.1. They said calculate the following for the year end 30 April 2018. Okay, number one, they said we have to calculate direct labor cost. Okay, we're gonna start with direct labor cost. Okay, number one, let's take the information on 30 April. As you can see, under a total cost of direct labor, they didn't give us anything, but we know cost per unit. And what you need to know, which is very important, guys, be able to classify everything that fall under fixed cost, everything that fall under variable cost, so that you will be able to know how are you going to deal with this transaction. Because now we know direct labor is variable, which means that variable depend on how many units produced, which means that we need to check how many units produced so that we can multiply by per unit amount that we are given. Okay, per unit amount is 7 rand 56. And now let's check number of units produced. It was 331,500. 331,500 number of units produced. So you multiply so that you can get how much amount of direct labor cost. So it's gonna give you 2,506,140. Very simple, just like that. Then the following one, calculate the break-even point. Break-even point, guys, know the formula, which says a fixed cost divided by selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit. That's the formula that you need to apply. So if you check our fixed cost on the table, we are given amount of 3,102,500, and a selling price, they give us amount of 28 rand minus variable cost, they give us total. You don't have to include the one that we have of direct labor, because they already give us a total of 19 rand 50. Okay, so if you do this calculation, you are going to get 365,000. It's unit. Break-even point is normally in unit. Okay, unless otherwise they specify. Okay, 2.3.2. Explain why the owner should be concerned about the break-even point and quote the figures. Why the owner should worry about this break-even point of 365,000 units. Okay, let's check how many units sold. Remember, this is the point where there is no profit, no loss. Business must produce more than this good in order for them to do what? To make a profit. Okay, so let's check. They produce and sold how many units? 331,500. And their break-even point is 365,000. In conclusion, company didn't make any profit. Company did not make any profit. In other words, company has made a loss, because no profit, no loss point is 365, and they produce and sold below. So obviously, the owner is going to be concerned about this. Okay, the next one. The owner is concerned about the direct labor cost. Number one. Okay, 2.3.3. Okay, the first part. Explain why the owner will not be satisfied with the direct labor cost per unit. As you can see, from 2017, direct labor cost is 560, and from 2018 is 7 rand 56. Simply means that there is a increase. And now let's take, if you calculate the percentage increase from 5 rand 60 to 7 rand 60, you will find that it has increased by 35%. This is way more than inflation rate. Remember, inflation rate is between 4 to 6 normally in South Africa. But the increase of labor, it has increased by 35%. This is too much. It must flow with what? Inflation. So obviously, the owner is not going to be satisfied about this. Okay, so now the other question, they say that give solution to this problem. How can the owner solve this kind of problem? Number one, monitor overtime. You can find that these people are just working overtime unnecessarily, which is increasing what? The cost of direct labor. Number two, make sure to monitor normal hours. Okay, in other words, guys, in this point, I'm saying that you can find that, guys, these people during the normal time, they are not working, they are just chilling without producing anything, and they are just getting paid. So there must be someone who are monitoring whether these people are working or not. So I hope you learned something, guys. Required number one, complete the data collection schedule, 14 marks. We are starting everything from scratch. Number two, complete a cash budget on June 2021. Okay, so information number one, we are given the expected collection from debtors. However, you know that when we prepare collection from debtors, we must first calculate our credit sales. Okay, let's go to information number B first. Information number B, they say that summary of transaction, total sales from April until July, it is given on the table. Okay, then credit purchase, not for now. Then they say 75% of total sales are on credit. 75% of total sales are on credit, which means that the rest are on cash. Okay, which means that we have to convert all those amounts to 75% because we are looking for credit sales. Okay, we're gonna say 90,000 multiplied by 75%, and for May 82,000 multiplied by 75%, June 100,000 multiplied by 75%, July 110. Very simple, guys. Multiplied by 75%. We're using 75% because it's for credit sales. Okay, let's get the answers. Here is gonna be 75,000, and the other one is gonna be 82,500, and this one is gonna be 61,500, and the other one will be 67,500. Very simple and straightforward. So this was 4 marks for free. Okay, now let's proceed to the next part. The next part, they said expected for collection from debtors. 40% of debtors settle their account during the transaction month of sales in order to qualify for 4%. We want collection now for June and July. Okay, let's use this collection percentage. They say 40%, we are going to collect it in the same month. Same month simply means that if we are in June, it's gonna match June. If we are July, it's gonna match July. Same month is the January and January. Following month is like if we are in January, following month, which means that it's February, which is going to be 30% in this case, because they say 30% settle their account in the following month following this one. Okay, and 23% is after the following month. If we were in April, we skip May, we go to June. Okay, and the 7% they said is bad debts. We don't calculate bad debts here. Okay, under only projected income statement, we can include bad debts, not on cash budget. Okay, now let's start with the same month, which is very simple, June and June. Let's check where June and June meet. They meet here, which means that we are going to say 75% of credit sales, 25,000, multiplied by 40%. Because there's a 4% discount, which means that you're gonna say 100 minus 4, and you get multiplied by 96%, which is going to give you amount here. Now, before we go, we calculate amount here. Let's do for July and July, where they meet here. It's gonna be 82,500 multiplied by 40%, multiplied by 96%. Okay, now let's calculate. For June and June, they're gonna give us 28,800, and for July and July, they're gonna give us 31,68. Just like that. Now let's go to the following month. For April, the following month is May, which we don't have here. Let's keep it for now. May, which month follow May? Is June, and they meet here. And the following percent here is 30%, which means that we're gonna say 61,500 multiplied by 30%. There is no discount here. And the other one, June and July, the month follow June is July, which means that they meet here. We're gonna say 75,000 multiplied by 30%, and it's gonna give us an answer. Okay, let's write these answers first. Here is 22,500, and here it's gonna be 18,450. Just like that. Okay, now we are going to the month following the month of sales. If we are in April, we must first skip the following month and we go to the one that we are looking for. If you are in April, we skip May and we go to June. And they said it's how many percent? 23%. 67,500 multiplied by 23%. It's going to give us answer. May, we skip June and we go to July. It's meet here. It's going to be 61,500 multiplied by 23%. And it's going to give us 14,145, 15,525. Okay, and totals for June is going to give us total. You just add these answers and you're going to get 62,775. Here is going to be 68,325. Just like that. That's how we prepare the tax collection schedule. Very simple. I have done a lot of videos like this one. So make sure that after this one, if you don't understand this or you want more practice, go and check on the playlist and watch more of them. Okay. Now, let's proceed. Remember these two, we are going to put them under cash budget. From collection, from debtors. We're just going to copy it because we already work those answers. 62,775 and 68,325. All right, before I forgot, guys, we are on a 1 million views celebration. So in order for us to celebrate this, guys, I know that I have been assisting you for a very long time and you have learned a lot on this channel. So please just appreciate us by sending a video, a short video of 10 seconds. You can take it at school, at home, with your friend or alone, any way that you want it. Just send a short video which is below 10 seconds or 5 seconds and just say, congratulations Accounting Solution SA for reaching 1 million views, and send it on my WhatsApp on the number that is appearing there. So please make sure that you send it before 15 August. So if you send a video before 15 of August 2024, I'm going to put it on our next video that I'm going to upload. So please make sure that you do that so that we can celebrate this together. A 1 million view is a lot, guys. It simply means that this channel is assisting a lot of people out there to learn a basic of accounting. Okay, now let's proceed to the next one. Now the next one, we are preparing a cash budget. A cash budget, some of the figures they were given like this and this one, but I'm gonna explain to you so that in case if they are not given, this is what you need to do. Number one, we have cash sales. Remember they said 75% of total sales is on what? Is on credit, which means that the rest, which is 25%, is cash. In order for you to get this true amount, you just take the amount of June, which was 100,000, you say multiply by 25%. It's going to give you this 25,000. You do the same in July, 110, multiply by 25% of cash sales, you're going to get this one. Just like that. So that's why there was no any mark allocation here. It was there on the answer book. Next one. Let's go to number C. Number C, they said creditors are paid in the months following the month of purchase. If we purchase now in June, we're gonna pay them in July, the following month. Okay, which means that the one that we are going to pay in June, we took them previous month, which is May. Let's take May. A credit purchase of May, it was 80,000. Here it is. It was given 80,000. Okay. Now let's do for July, which means that for July is the one that we took on June. Let's take a credit purchase of June. It is there on the table. In this case, it was already calculated, 65,000. Okay. Now let's go to cash purchase because it is not given at all. Cash purchase, we have to convert credit purchase into cash. They said a credit purchase are 40% of total purchase. If credit purchase are 40%, cash are 60%. Okay, now let's calculate the one for June. Let me show calculation here for June. For June, we take a June amount. Okay, a June amount, it was 65,000, which we multiply by what we want on top. We want cash purchase, which is 60%, and what we have is not 100%. We have a credit purchase, which is 40%. We divide by 40%. Okay, which is going to give us amount of 97,500. Now let's do for July. July is also very simple. We are just going to say 110 multiplied by 60 over 40. Okay, and it's going to give us amount of 127,500. We use the same procedure. The difference is only amount. We just change here and put 110. Okay, it's not 110, guys. It's 85,000. Okay, let me write it here. 85,000 multiplied by 60 over 40. We take a credit purchase, not total sales, because we are dealing with purchases here. Okay, moving to the next one. Number D. The rental agreement make provision for annual increase of 12% commencing on 1 July 2021. Okay, the rental is going to increase by 12%. Rent, it was 17,000. Now for July is going to increase, we say 112 over 100 because it's going to increase by 12%. Okay, and it's going to give us 19,040 rand. Okay, because it has increased from 17, now it's going to 19. Okay, the next one. The following withdrawal are made monthly by the owner. Cash to pay for his garden service at home 7,500 and trade stock is 2,800. Which one do we take? we only take cash. A trading stock is not cash. We are dealing with cash only because it's cash budget. We're gonna include a drawings of 7,500, just like that. Okay, and the following one, okay, a used vehicle was sold in June by amount of 132,900 to the owner's best friend, and the loss on sales is 3,000. EFT will only be made in July. It's gonna be received in July. We sold what? Vehicle. Asset sold. We receive, because when we sell, we receive cash. We receive amount of how much? 132,900. The loss is not recorded, guys. Loss is not recorded. The reason is because a loss is just different between what this amount that we sold and the current value. We didn't receive or pay any amount. It's like a depreciation. We don't pay any cash. Okay. The next one, a loan of 11.5% per annum interest will be taken out on 1 July interest. Okay, and they said the loan will be repaid in 36 equal monthly installment commencing 30 July. Installment, it was already calculated 5,600. Okay, and the loan, the interest is also payable at the end of each month commencing 30 June 2021. Interest is not capitalized. Show the calculation in a bracket. We need to calculate the interest. Okay, the loan, it was given here, is 201,600 multiplied by the interest of 11.5%. Remember, we are doing monthly. We must say 1/12. Okay, which is going to give us how much? Amount of 1932. Okay. Let's proceed to the next one. The next one, they say advertising is calculated at 1% of the previous month's total sales. So when we calculate advertising, we use the previous month to calculate for this month. For June, we use the one for May. In May, it was 82,000. We take 1% of 82,000. Okay, we're gonna say 82,000 multiplied by 1%, which is going to give us 820. And for July, we use for June 100,000 multiplied by 1%, which is going to give us 1,000. Just like that. Very simple. Number I. All employees will receive a salary increase of 4% at the end of July. Okay. Now let's deal with this increment of a salary. Salary, it was 75,000. 75,000 multiplied by 104, because increase is 4%. Then it will be 78,000. Okay, and the other one, the bank showed the favorable balance of 140,000 on 31 May 2021. The bank show favorable balance. Favorable balance is positive. Unfavorable is negative. This one is positive. Opening balance, it will be 140,530. Okay, now we are done with everything. Let's calculate the total. The total for receipts for June, it was 104,775. For July, it was 449,365. Okay, then for total payment, when we add everything, is 260,820, and this side is 286,532. Okay, now we want to calculate a shortfall or cash surplus. Shortfall is a negative, surplus is positive. 104, remember payment are negative, are outflow. 104 minus 260, they are going to give us an amount of negative 156 and 45. Okay, because negative is higher here, which means that if you take this one plus this one, it's going to give us a negative 15,515. Or you can start with positive 1 minus negative 1. It's going to give you negative amount, this one. So opening balance, closing balance of this month is opening for next month. This one is going to be opening on the following month. It's going to be 15,515. Okay, now let's calculate surplus this side of deficit. 449 minus 256 is going to give us positive 162,833. Okay, then after that, take this one minus this one. Let me calculate. 162,833 minus 15,515. It's gonna give you 147,318. That's how you do it, guys.